This is Water Elemental.
And this is Axis.
With Jolly Green.
And we are here today. It's my birthday!
Yay!
It was my birthday yesterday. But I want everyone on the internet to think I'm really special. In the face.
But my birthday's Monday.
We don't care.
But...
Hands up if you care about his birthday. Yeah, I don't see any hands, so I guess...
Why do we have to do an audio-only podcast?
I don't know.
Oh. What's new this week? Will I cry?
We got some interesting things this week. We have a champion that's going to come out soon, and I'm sure she has a name. It's Lulu, the fairy.
Is she like Lulu from Final Fantasy X with the huge rack?
Yes, she is.
I don't think she's a black magic woman.
But does she have the rack? I don't care what she does.
I just want her to mill cards off of my opponent's deck and play. Is that weird?
Little out of context.
Little obscure reference.
That's okay. We have an adult audience. They can comprehend.
No, we don't.
Oh, God. So we got Lulu this week. They're retiring a couple more skins. There are a bunch of new skins that are on sale. I shouldn't say that they're new skins, but there's old skins that are on sale.
No, not really any new skins this week.
No, not really. It's kind of a bummer. But, you know, they did push the patch back a little bit.
It's because of that tournament.
It's not even that. They said they had to do some testing with Lulu. I mean, they have a tournament patch that they default to, so I don't think that's an issue. But, yeah, so new champion. We don't know much about her, and we have a bunch of skins and some tournament stuff, which we're probably not going to talk about. But let's jump right into it. Lulu! She's a fairy.
She's a support fairy. Yay!
Ooh. They've actually needed to make a new support character. I mean,
last support, air quotations, was Karma, and she went more of an AP aggro champion, and she's not really there for support.
Yeah, she has a shield kind of thing, and...
Last, though?
So, a support was definitely needed. I think it's one of the genres of characters that needs an update.
Yeah, from what it looks like, though, they did mention a few things about it, and it looks like she's got some cool CC. So she might be more of an aggressive support like Tarek is, where you can
that's even better
team fight. Because yeah, it looks like we've got a new form of CC, which they're talking about, which is a polymorph.
Oh God!
Silences you, makes you unable to attack, and slows you by around 15%. It looks like you can still move around. You just can't perform normal actions.
But are you able...
Summoner spells is the thing I'm concerned about.
Are you able to target the polymorph character? Does it break said polymorph if you do damage?
It's possible. I mean, back in Dota we had a thing called sleep. There was sleep and there was polymorph. Polymorph didn't break on damage. It had a duration, and I think it actually did have a damage threshold. If you passed a certain amount of damage, they would pop out of it. And sleep, if you attacked them, period, they would break from sleep, and in most cases, the sleep would actually pass on to you.
I think in this case, I think the polymorph would kind of have like a 300 damage, 400 damage threshold to prevent a single auto attack from hitting if it's thrown that direction after the cast.
Well, I mean, I say that's only the case if it's a longer CC. Like, if it's like a 6-second CC, and it's got that damage threshold, you could use it to knock someone out of the fight if you play strategically. I mean, that'd be cool.
It does seem like if you are able to knock someone out of said polymorph, it's more for being able to chase someone down, get up on them, do some damage, or CC that's useful for running away from a threat. Not really, I'm CCing you and I'm just going to beat on your dome now.
Yeah, like every other CC, we're like, stun, engage, or stun, lull, flash.
It's more of a tactical CC, which more CC should be.
Indeed.
But I'm excited for it. Hopefully they bring out these skills over the weekend, not after the podcast directly.
I hope it probably will happen 20 minutes after we're done.
But I do like the look of her. She kind of has the background really reminds me of Rift.
Plains of wherever.
The Fae or whatever.
I don't know.
The background looks good. I'm just kind of not excited to play a Yordle.
Well, we haven't had one in at least, 30 characters, so we needed it.
Oh, yeah.
Followed by 8 more Warwick skins, 2 more Rice skins.
Teemo skins and Annie skins, throw those in there.
But at least we're not making things redundant.
That's true. We aren't making things redundant.
Redundancy.
Anyway.
So yeah, let us know what you guys think. If you're excited for her, if you're not excited for her, let us know. We're moving on to kind of some other news. The first thing that's brought up to our attention is they're retiring more skins.
They are retiring Emerald Pteric. They are retiring Helmless Kale, Nightmare Cho'Gath, and Butcher Urgot.
Now, I can understand a couple of these skins. I can understand Shadow Cho'Gath, because, come on, everybody owns that skin already in one form or another, or it's just you picked it up for 200 right points.
I got it for free when we did a tournament.
Yeah, like I said, if you competed in any sort of tournament, you got Shadow Cho'Gath. And I can understand Helmetless Kale, because it's one of the weaker looking skins, so I can understand that retiring.
It was cool at the time.
And
It wasn't.
everybody already got a free Helmless Blue Kale, so I mean, it's no one has any incentive to buy it. Retiring it kind of gives people that, oh hey, it's never going to be around, better buy it.
True that.
But the two I'm really frustrated about is the Emerald Pteric and the Butcher Urgot. Urgot just... I can't even talk today. Urgot just got a new skin, and they're retiring one of his other skins. And this skin isn't bad. The skin has particle details that are different, like you shoot chainsaws, which is amazing. They're getting rid of this for the Battlecaster. Why can't we have both? And why can't we have Green Pteric, Pink Pteric, and Gemini Pteric? You know, it doesn't make sense I'm retiring these skins when these characters don't have enough skins to fall back on. You know?
I just want to look cool, so I want to be an elite master champion.
I'm just guessing that the overall level of sale numbers is influencing what skins they're going to retire. Because if something doesn't sell, then they need to find a way to at least get it to sell before they make it go away forever. Because yeah, Riot does make a lot of money on skins, and it's a business. It's just a business.
I own all these skins, so I shouldn't be too bitchy, but it's just kind of...
You look like elite veteran then. Why are you complaining?
Sometimes they just kind of...
When I roll into a game with a retired skin, I feel like a total champion. I really do.
Well, it's bringing back memories of the Caitlyn skin.
Oh goodness.
Back when we should have...
Let's...
Hey, let's make this skin retired. Only magazine people can get it. Oh no, everyone can.
Moving on champion sales, the full Commando team is on sale. You can get all Commando skins for 1981 Riot points. You have to buy the whole group. I'm kind of bummed out because I actually own all of them already. But I'm the Demacia guy. But they're all amazing skins in my book. I'm very biased. Just telling you that now. I love all these skins. They're great. If you're any kind of Demacian player, these are the skins you need to get because this is your faction's colors. I mean,
do these come with champions, or are these just the skins?
These are just the skins, I believe.
But one thing to note, I did some research because the only Commando skin that I own is the Jarvan Commando skin, and I was actually rather interested in buying the Commando set, but you don't get a discount for each skin that you already own. So if you own 1, 2 of the skins and you want to get the rest, it actually would be cheaper to buy them individually, which is sad. So
something they should have taken into account for sure.
But still, if you're setting up a Commando team, definitely this is your chance to...
Oh yeah, consider it.
No new skins this week, really, and they haven't really
Unfortunately,
announced any champion sales.
It's part of the patch. They did push the patch back a week, guys, so that comes with all the territory it comes with, your patch, your champion, your skins, which is a bummer, but we do have a lot to look forward to. I hope we get a really good, well-tested patch, which is one of the main reasons why they pushed back, was because they didn't feel like the new champion was ready or the patch was ready. So I hope this does turn out to be a good plan for them.
I do love the fact that they are taking more time on this champion and not giving out a half-assed champion like we've seen previously.
Or an overpowered champion like Fiora.
See, they have an incentive to make every champion that comes out extremely overpowered. Because if it's overpowered, then everyone's going to want to buy it. If it's underpowered, who wants to buy an underpowered piece of junk?
I do.
So that's a trend that you're going to see for a long time down the road. Make an overpowered champion, nerf it 2 patches later.
Business model. But There's nothing really else as far as news this week.
Unfortunately not.
They're hinting towards a Xerath remake. Or...
Yeah, this is sort of something they've been talking about a long time, is Xerath's passive doesn't really work with the way he's supposed to be played. But that's just a red post. There's a lot of those going about these days.
Yeah, just something to keep an eye on.
Oh, yeah.
Because people want us to talk about red post now, and it's a red post that was interesting.
Well, there you go.
And moving on to our own section here.
Contest is still going on, guys. Still got about half a month left. You can check out the rules in one of our videos. I believe we have a link to it here. And, of course, you submit those in the forums, which we also have a link to. That's spazticgaming.com. It's under the forum section at the very top. And we have a couple of questions this week.
Our first question comes from J040PL7, and he asks, what do you guys think about support? Do you think their role is a bit too passive, like Soroka, only healing every 18 seconds and then silencing when she feels like it? Or Tarek, where he's dazzling away every 2 seconds? Do you think that support should be more active through a fight, or do you think static approach is currently a fine way to play? I'm a major support player. It's one of my favorite classes to play. And I think that if you're going to play support, you should make more of a difference outside of combat than inside of combat, because support shouldn't be very aggressive and have these benefits. So they should be out of combat features. They should have some offensive abilities, like Tarek has his Shatter, and Soroka has her AoE attack, and Sana has her, Q. So I do think that they should have some offensive abilities, but they should stay more of a defensive and a passive approach. If they're a more active way, like what they're talking about with Lulu, I can perfectly understand that. But right now, I think support should be one or the other, and being a more defensive, out of the way, kind of sitting back, should be more of what support should be.
See, I like more multi-role supports. Your Karmas, your Leonas, Alistair, Shen. I like champions that fill multiple roles but still do a small amount of support, because it makes them very strong for the lane phase without them, feeling left behind in, say, team fights or different situations where healing every 18 seconds ain't going to cut it. I mean, I'd rather have a Shen in a team fight than a Soraka, because Shen's amazing. Soraka is great by all means, but I just prefer champions that if they're going to support, they need to do more than, put a buff on me once every 12 seconds.
Well, there's a lot about support that a lot of people don't realize. Say in fives, where you have a support and a ranged AD carry in the bottom. Now, that's a very common setup for one reason, because the support sits there, doesn't take any farm, and allows the carry to sit there and farm to their heart's content. And the support sits there, makes sure that the carry is getting, if they're getting harassed, that they're getting healed back up, that they can stay in the lane, and provide a little bit of CC when necessary.
Because they're less item dependent early game than an AD carry.
Exactly. So you can grab a couple gold per fives, grab a couple aura items, and sit there and just let your carry out farm theirs, which in the long run will help in the fact that your carry is going to sit there with a Bloodthirster, a Black Cleaver, and an Infinity Edge, and be able to just tear through people, where their support in a 2-carry lane is going to be, their carry in a 2-carry lane is going to be far less farmed. So I like support in a lot of different roles. I think there's a different variety of supports, and I don't really like seeing a homogenized way of looking at it. So I do like the way support is right now. I'm not saying I'm content with having it just stay just these 5 main support characters. I'm excited that Lulu's coming out and that they're giving a different look at the thing. But it really goes down to your definition of what support is and what you want to do with it, and go from there.
Sure. Next question comes from Zachly11. He says, okay, guys, what do you think about Tomate? It's a very weird item, to say the least. Links a video to take a look at. He doesn't think it's a very good item. And what do we think? First of all, Tomate is an amazing item for the cost. It is 2,070 gold for 50 AD. That is 400 more than a BF sword, and gives 5 more AD health regen, mana regen, and cleave. That right there is impeccable as far as items go.
I think it's
for
a
its
great
cost
item.
ratio. So I don't think Tiamat's bad, first of all. The second thing is, Tiamat, while it is good for its cost, compared to other AD items you can get late game, it does fall off a little bit. It's always been sort of a gimmick item. I mean, Tiamat, you have your Tiamat GP. Tiamat Malphite is actually a pretty solid bet.
Right now, Tiamat Fiora.
Yeah, but Tiamat Fiora right now is probably the big thing you're bringing this up, and I think that's part of the video you did. But it's an incredible item cost-wise, but it is gimmicky, which makes a lot of people doubt it and not use it properly or exploit it in this case. And while I do like to use it, it doesn't fit in a lot of builds, and if they do buff it too much, it will be overpowered. I mean, if you make the cleave bigger, that's going to make it worse, but if you make it smaller, it's going to be too bad. It's a very tricky item to balance because of the way it multiplies damage.
Well, there's only a few characters that I've ever seen it on and seen it do well. I saw it on an AD Ezreal, because it procs his on-hit Q. It procs Gangplank's little parlay action there. And actually, I saw a game where a Gangplank stacked 4 of them. Now, you may laugh, but this guy was doing insane amounts of damage. Like Trinity Force Freak tons of damage. Like, the 35% cleave...
No, it's 50%.
The 50% cleave, excuse me. It stacks. So if you have 3 of them, you're getting 150% cleave. So your main target's taking 100% of your damage, and everything around it in the cleave is getting 150%. This guy had 4 of them. So people around him in team fights were just getting melted. Yes, it was kind of a freak scenario. Yes, they were winning by a whole lot. I would never do it on my own just because it's not efficient until you get 4 of them. And it was kitschy. I think it serves its place. There's some interesting troll builds out there. I don't really think there's anything you can do to Tiamat to make it anywhere near what some of the AD options are.
They fixed it on Kale when I started playing way back when, and it used to proc off of her AoE thing, which was really nice. So I used to play Tiamat on there, and it gave her a lot of health and actually gave her a lot of AD that would stack up with the rolled passive, and it would double cleave, which was really nice. But then they patched it like 2 or 3 afterwards, which was kind of disappointing. But there was builds like that, and I also used it on Poppy when I first started learning Poppy, and I thought it was a really great item too. But it's just after a while, as you get better playing the game, its use to start limiting as you raise in level. So the more higher rank you are, the less useful it is going to be. But if you're playing for fun, playing against bots, it's a great item to play with.
That's all we really have for this week as far as everything goes. We love questions, guys. We love questions. So please send us any questions you have about us, about the show, about League of Legends, about
ideas for us, anything.
Yeah, sure. No, we eat them right up. You can post them in the comments below here. You can send our email at spasticgaming@gmail.com. That is also in the information below. You can post them at spasticgaming.com under the forum section there. There's also a link for that. And I believe that's all we have.
Stay on the forums for a while. We have a lot of conversations going on right now. A lot of fun stuff we're talking about, as well as the contest. So
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
It's been Axis
and Water Elemental
with Jolly Green.
And
this is probably the last time I can do this podcast sober, legally.
That's funny.
It is birthday week here on League of Legends.
Shut the fuck up!
Okay.
That's not how we do the show!
I go first!
I wasn't trying to...
I go first! You know what? When you become the host of the show, you can go first.
Oh, it's my own show, and it'll get 100 more views than you.
Still have 100 views?
Yeah.
Did that joke unlock? Like the secret key?